There's a thing that happens in that town, in that area, where the people that think outside of the norm say it in like whispered, hushed tones. Mm-hmm. There's a certain ideology that's attached to that city, and it's not logical. Completely insulated left-wing view of the world.
When it comes time to taking positions about issues, I have tried really hard over the years, and I'm not calling them politics, because a lot of them are not politics. Sometimes it's what is right and what is wrong.
They enforce it with an iron fist. And if you're not on that team, you don't get booked for things. You don't get picked for things. If you're someone who has conservative leanings, or you're talking about, there's projects you're never going to get. Everybody just follows the same sort of wacky ideology that these people take from the universities. They go straight into working as a PA and straight into working for executives and producers, and all of those people are indoctrinated. They're all in this wild-ass cult of weirdness.
During an altercation at a Hilo karaoke bar.
You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors.
It's out of touch.
Yeah.
It's just a crazed cult.
So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy. Is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
The federal government has now shut down what they call the largest marketplace of dark web child porn. Hundreds of people were arrested nationwide, accused of buying child pornography.
The platform visited by people from all walks of life.
I have arrested everyone from CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, vice president of a major Fortune 50 company, all the way down to someone who may be homeless.
All committing sex crimes involving innocent children.
This is a pandemic before pandemic was in our common vernacular.
Pedophile show at a carnival in Spain. A troupe from the Alicante town of Torrevieja parades with children dressed in garter belts, nipple shields, and LGBT flags.
I want to talk to the kids.
Hi, how are you? What's your name? Miko? I'm Isabella. Have you ever heard of a drag queen before? No?
What is a drag queen?
A drag queen is someone who expresses themselves creatively through performance. So dress up in wild costumes, big wigs, crazy makeup, and then get on stage and perform and entertain people.
My name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture. Most folks are making incorrect assumptions about them without actually knowing much about them. And those assumptions create harm for an already marginalized population. Is only part of who they are and doesn't represent everything that they are. We are all people first with many different facets or parts of ourselves, and this includes folks who are attracted to minors.
You're not allowed to label people like that.
What?
Stop it, Diego. We're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPs, minor attracted persons. So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
If the child is ready to consent, the community and the child, if the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult, and do I feel that some minors are more equipped to engage in sexual activity with adults than others? Yes.
And now I hear you think, yeah, but you know what? Whoever the offender and whatever seriousness the crime, they should still all be punished for it. Yes. But what if this time the offender is your neighbor, your colleague, your football mate? What if this time the offender is your husband or son? The criminal justice system has always meant to have been a last resort, and we should keep it that way. So most of these people don't act out on it, they don't offend. Which is great, isn't it? But the problem is, these people can't talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it. And what if this love that you really wish for will forever be impossible? That must be a really lonely situation to be in.
The perpetrator of these horrendous acts is the most depraved individual I've ever come across.
She was repeatedly raped, tortured, and eventually murdered by Scully, her body buried in this shallow grave.
At what point do you actually feel sorry for what you've done? Is it at the point where you're captured?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. That's a good question. Well done.